Where's True Lies on Blu-ray? I can't get True Lies on Blu-ray, but Miami Connection's getting a 4K release. Hi guys, Keeter64 here, and today we're talking about the physical media releases for the month of May in the year 2022. We've been on a roll since October, so we're getting close to about a year of me doing the physical media releases, the monthly release videos. I've had a lot of fun making these. I get a good idea what's coming out. Hopefully you guys get a good idea what's coming out during the month. We get a chance to talk about all kinds of different movies that may not have an outlet to talk about in any other kind of video, and really talk about physical media, which is important to me, and I think is becoming more important to more and more people as streaming services begin to diversify and pull their libraries apart. For those new, the way that I do my videos is I split them into 4 categories. There's new releases, which are new movies, older releases, which could be out of print movies that are coming back. That could be movies coming to Blu-ray for the first time or 4K for the first time, but there are older movies that are getting re-released. And then we have Steelbooks, because I really like collecting Steelbooks and it deserves its own category. And then special releases, which can include TV shows or special collector's editions and stuff like that. Stuff that doesn't necessarily fit into the other categories. And those are all bookmarked here, so feel free to skip around in the video as far as what interests you the most. With all that said, let's go ahead and open it up with the first category here. First section up is new releases. So the biggest release of the month is, of course, The Batman, which I have checked out. This is one of those movies that they released on streaming prior to the physical media release, which I was kind of surprised about. I was kind of surprised that they put this up on HBO Max almost a month ago now, and I checked that I do have HBO Max. It's one of the streaming services that I have, and I actually liked The Batman. I thought it was pretty good. I don't think it was as good as The Dark Knight, I don't think it was as good as Batman Begins. Maybe on par with Dark Knight Rises from my perspective, or thereabouts. But then again, I think I might watch Dark Knight Rises before I watch The Batman again. There's lots of aspects I liked about it, but I'm not going to really get into a full review of The Batman here. I am curious about what you guys thought about The Batman, because I didn't do a review or anything like that. So if you guys enjoyed it, share your thoughts, opinions down below. I'd like to know what you guys think. Me, I don't know if I'm going to pick this one up. Like I said, I've already seen it. To me, it doesn't seem like it's very rewatchable. I don't really have any interest in seeing it again anytime soon. I don't think it's bad, but it's just not rewatchable. So I don't know if I'm going to be picking this one up. I don't think I will. For me, I might wait till a Black Friday, and if a Black Friday sale pops off and you can get it on 4K for about $10 or less, that's my opinion on picking this one up at this point. Uncharted is coming to 4K, and it's just another video game movie. And we all know video game movies are the best. They're the best movies. Yeah, they're not. I didn't see Uncharted. I don't really care to see it. The video games are really good, but I don't really have any interest in seeing this movie. Again, it's a video game movie. They're pretty best you can hope for with these things is mediocrity. But like I said, I haven't seen it, so I'm not going to say if it's good or bad because I haven't watched it. But I'm not very interested in checking this one out. Dog is releasing this month as well. This one stars Channing Tatum, and I gotta say, I like the name Dog. Just straight to the point. You know, three letters, and there you go, Dog. I haven't seen this one yet. The premise was actually somewhat interesting to me. It seemed like this was something that I'd probably catch on streaming. I don't know if it's worth a buy. To me, it's this type of movie that I want to check out and see if it's something that is rewatchable before I purchase it. But it is something that I find myself somewhat interested in, especially in regards to a lot of the new movies coming out. Turning Red is getting a 4K release. This is the latest Pixar movie to just get dumped onto Disney Plus, and I haven't seen it. I used to be a really big Pixar fan. I used to watch every single Pixar movie, and I'd love checking them out. You know, that you get like one a year usually, and then they kind of upped it to where you were getting about 2-ish a year, and at that point I felt like they started to drop in quality. So yeah, the Pixar movies I don't really check out anymore, just like I don't really check out a lot of the Disney movies, the newer stuff. Not that they're bad. Every once in a while you might get a good one, but I haven't seen Turning Red, and I don't really care to. Constantine House of Mystery. I was initially looking forward to this when I first saw it pop up as something that was releasing. Then I took a little bit of a deeper look into it, and I saw that apparently it's only got a runtime of about 30 minutes, so it's really short. This is basically an animated show episode. This is not a full movie. It does look like they have a couple special features and some stuff on it, but still, like, having a release for a 30-minute animated movie on physical media release, I find to be, I don't know, a little scummy, I guess. Only unless the front actually explicitly says how short it is. If you just saw this on the shelf and you're like, I like Constantine and I want to pick this one up, and you took it home and you watch like a 30-minute movie, I feel like you'd probably be kind of upset. Now, I collect the DC animated movies. I don't own every single one, but I own the majority of them. So Constantine House of Mystery is supposed to be a kind of like an epilogue, or serve as an epilogue to Justice League Dark, the Apocalypse War. So I guess it caps off these two. So it's like a trilogy-ish, except for that the last movie is only 30 minutes. And yeah, I didn't mind these. I like the first Justice League Dark a little bit better than the second one. I thought Apocalypse War went a little bit too dark. I thought they go for the shock and gore factor of killing off your favorite characters, and it's just, it leans heavy into that and not so much into the narrative. But I do like Constantine as a character in the animated shows, so I don't know. I kind of am interested in this, but I'm not going to pick it up. Not for a 30-minute movie. Without Remorse is coming out. This is Tom Clancy Without Remorse. That stars Michael B. Jordan, and I didn't even know this existed. Apparently this was produced by Paramount and then sold to Amazon, which is kind of strange. I don't know why they didn't release it on their Paramount Plus service, but they went to Amazon, bought the rights to distribute it, and then they distributed it online apparently, which I don't remember seeing anything about. And then now the physical media is already coming out. And apparently the digital release for this was this month, or this past month in April. So that's kind of strange. It's kind of weird the way that a lot of this stuff is releasing. The classic way of releasing your movies is goes to theaters, 3 months later, 3 to 4 months later, you get your physical media release. A couple months after that, you might get something on a streaming service, after a few months of the physical media release. That used to be how it went, but now every single one, just who knows what's going to happen with it. And that's kind of the case with this one, Infinite, which was a movie with Mark Wahlberg. It was a streaming exclusive movie release, and now it's getting a physical media release, and I have not heard anything good about this movie, so I don't know. Did you guys see Infinite? I don't know a single person who has. The only thing I know is about some other YouTubers I follow who reviewed it and said it wasn't very good. Next up is older releases. First up is the individual releases of the Jurassic Park movies. I didn't realize this until I was doing this video, but I don't think that Jurassic Park movies had individual 4K releases. They have had 4K releases, but I think it was exclusive to the set that they came out with. Now, I don't have the 4K set. I love Jurassic Park, by the way, and I even love the second one. Jurassic Park Lost World is pretty underrated in my opinion. I think that one's pretty solid, but the first one's definitely the best. And I own the trilogy on Blu-ray. I didn't upgrade to the 4K. I'm pretty happy with the Blu-ray, so I didn't upgrade. And besides that, at this point, if you want to get some kind of set, why not just wait till the third Jurassic World movie comes out, because they're going to release the 4K set there. But if you're just interested in the individual releases of Jurassic Park are out. So if you just want the first one on 4K, or maybe the first two on 4K, that's probably what I would recommend. If you're not interested in getting the Jurassic World movies or Jurassic Park 3, having the individual options is good. I will say that apparently the 4K individual releases are going for about $20. You can get all 5 of the current movies out for $51 on 4K, the set for $51. So I feel like I don't really understand why they're releasing this individually when you can get the 4K set of all 5 movies for that cheap. Kind of strange to me. Miami Connection is getting a 4K release, and hell has frozen over. I can't believe this thing is getting a 4K release. If you know Miami Connection, it's one of those that when you know, and I know what Miami Connection is. For those who don't know what Miami Connection is, it's one of those so bad it's good movies. If you've heard of The Room with Tommy Wiseau, it's in that kind of category. It's one of those like late 80s straight to VHS movies that was just put out. You could probably find it in like the cheapo rental store someplace back in like the late 80s, early 90s. And it got second life, online. It's a terrible movie. It's one of the most fun, terrible movies to watch is Miami Connection. And it's getting a 4K release. Of all the movies to get a 4K release, when I'm still waiting on Angels in the Outfield on Blu-ray, or Abyss, or True Lies. Where's True Lies on Blu-ray? I can't get True Lies on Blu-ray, but Miami Connection's getting a 4K release. What world are we living in? Smoking Aces is getting a 4K as well. I've actually never seen this. I've heard a lot of good things about it. It was released when I worked at Blockbuster. I really like the packaging for it with all the colors and just the layout. It always was enticing, but I never actually sat down and watched it. Escape from New York is getting a 4K as well. I believe this is the first time it is coming to 4K. And I don't own it. So this is actually one I'm pretty positive I'm going to be picking up. Beverly Hills Cop 2 is coming to 4K, and I believe this is the first time it's coming to 4K as well. I know Beverly Hills Cop was released on 4K last year. I'm not 100% sure. I know that the first one was released on 4K not very long ago. So the second one is now coming to 4K. Good Eddie Murphy movie. The Craft is coming to 4K as well. There was a really crappy reboot of The Craft, or sequel. I guess that's supposed to be a spoiler that it's a sequel. I don't really know. Anyway, it wasn't very good. But the original Craft, I remember watching on TV, and it was like one of those, like, I always viewed it as kind of a cheesy movie, but it's fine. Like, The Craft is fine. It's not something I'm gonna buy, but it's fine. The Man Who Shot Liberty Vance is getting a 4K release. If you guys are interested in that one. Femme Fatale with Rebecca Romaine and Antonio Banderas is coming out on Blu-ray, and I've actually never seen Femme Fatale, so this might be worth checking out. Ghost in the Darkness is getting a Blu-ray release. I'm not sure if this had a previous Blu-ray release or not, but I've never seen Ghost in Darkness, but it is one that I've always wanted to check out, so this might be a good opportunity for that. Let me know in the comments below if that's worth picking up, because like I said, I haven't seen it. Same thing for Femme Fatale, either one. Candyman, the original Candyman, is getting a 4K release. Wild Things with Denise Richards is getting a 4K Arrow release with some pretty sweet packaging. And Patriot Games, Harrison Ford is getting a 4K release. Lots of 4K releases this month. Lots of older releases getting 4K releases this month. Sum of All Fears on 4K. This is one I'm going to pick up. I haven't watched it in a really long time. Ben Affleck, Morgan Freeman. I thought that I owned this, but I was going through my shelves and I didn't find it anywhere. It might be one of those that I loaned out and didn't get back. That seems to happen a lot. I know for a fact I had it on DVD and I can't find that one either. So it might be worth an upgrade. I don't know how rewatchable it is, but I remember it being okay. I remember it being good enough, at least for me to buy on DVD. 2 Clint Eastwood movies coming out, Fistful of Dollars, the classic, and For a Few Dollars More. I've never seen the sequel. Fistful of Dollars I have seen, and I thought that I owned it. I have this really awesome 20 film Clint Eastwood collection that has a lot of really great movies on it. But it doesn't have Fistful of Dollars, which I found to be pretty strange. The Untouchables is also getting a 4K release. Like I said, lots of older movies coming to 4K this month, guys. Finally, we're to Steelbooks. There's some pretty interesting things to talk about here in the Steelbook section. First up is, of course, the Batman Steelbook, which is coming out. This is a Best Buy exclusive. And to be honest, one of the drawbacks of the Batman movie is, while I like the red and black color choice, the palette, I don't think that either this one or the 4K, I think both of them are pretty terrible covers, to be honest. The Steelbook is slightly better than the basic 4K cover, which is literally just his face. I find both of these covers, though, to be extremely lacking. But as I said, I would pick the Steelbook over the basic 4K. This one is the most interesting to me. Uncharted, the Steelbook is coming out. And as far as I can tell, and I've noticed this for a couple months, I thought about doing a video on this, but I was like, it's not enough to do a whole video on, but Uncharted Steelbook is coming out, and it's been on pre-order for close to $60. And I was like, what the heck makes this thing worth $60?
And who you think you kidnapped, Chelsea Clinton?
First off, it's a video game movie, so I don't know who would pay $60 for it. And while the Steelbook is pretty good. The Steelbook definitely looks more visually appealing than the Batman Steelbook does, at least to me. Right now, in order to pre-order this, it's still $50 or about $50 to $55, depending on where it is that you pre-order it at. And it comes with a ring. And so the Steelbooks, generally new release Steelbooks, go for about $5 more than the basic release. The basic 4K release for a new release is about $30, $5 more for the Steelbook, so $35 typically for a new release Steelbook. So it's $35 for that and about $55 to get this Steelbook with a ring. So you're basically paying $20 for this stupid ring. And you can't buy the Steelbook without the ring. Every place I've looked at, you can't buy it without the ring, unless I'm missing something, which could be the case, or something has changed after I did this video. That can also happen. It's happened before. But as the filming of this video, you can only buy this if you buy the stupid ring. So in order to get the Uncharted Steelbook, you have to drop more than $50, and that's crazy to me. Smoking Aces is also getting a Steelbook release. Like I said before, it's getting a 4K release. It's getting a Best Buy exclusive Steelbook release that looks pretty sweet. Hell or High Water is getting a 4K Best Buy Steelbook release. So Best Buy's been pretty good about getting some of these older movies coming to Steelbooks. I wish they'd get a few more out a month, because that would be great. But I already have Hell or High Water. I've already got it on 4K. It's a pretty good movie. It's written by Tyler Sheridan, who is the showrunner for Yellowstone. So, and I've seen this before, Yellowstone. He also did Sicario as well. So he's done some good movies. So if you haven't seen Hell or High Water, I do think it's a pretty good movie. And I would like to get the Steelbook, but since I already own the 4K, I don't think I'm going to pop on the Steelbook. Belle, which is an anime movie, is getting a Target exclusive Steelbook release. I'm not really into animes. I've started to branch out a little bit more into anime over the last couple years, mainly due to the fact that a lot of the Western movies have been lacking. So I've been getting more into some anime shows and checking out some anime movies, like Studio Ghibli movies in particular. After I went to Japan, I decided I should check out some of those movies. So I don't know anything about Belle, but it's got a Target exclusive release, so it's cool. It's Target's starting to get a little bit more into the exclusive game, even though they continually shrink their physical media section in the store, which I'm not really too happy about. And as I mentioned before, the Untouchables is coming out on 4K. It's also getting a Steelbook release. This is the 35th anniversary of this movie, and I had no idea the movie was that old. So I've never sat through the whole movie. I caught it on TV, a long time ago. So I hardly remember anything about it. So, and I don't own it. So this may be a good opportunity for me to pick it up. Anytime I can get an older release that's coming to Steelbook that I don't own, I usually try and do it. Wild Things, as I said, is getting an Arrow release. It's also getting a Steelbook release. And Friday the 13th Part 3 is getting a Blu-ray Steelbook. So I did notice that they've been releasing some of these Friday the 13th individually as Steelbooks. So Part 3 is already coming out on Blu-ray. And then, of course, Turning Red, the Pixar movie, is also coming out and getting a Steelbook release, as I said before. I used to watch all the Pixar movies. Don't really watch them so much anymore. Don't really watch a lot of the Disney animated movies. So I don't know if it's any good or not, but the Steelbook is coming out. And before we move on to the special releases, I do want to show you guys the Steelbooks that I picked up last month, which are Spider-Man No Way Home Steelbook, which I really do like this. It's got the matte finish. And I always prefer the matte finishes because the matte finish means you're not going to have fingerprints on it. You don't have to put a protective case on it. It's a little bit better. I do definitely prefer it. I don't think the visuals for this are quite as good as the last Spider-Man release, but it's still pretty sweet and it's really hard to find at this point. And then I also got another Steelbook, which was Cabin in the Woods on 4K. This is a really good Steelbook. This is one of the things Best Buy has been doing, where you got this slip that kind of adds a little extra dimension to your movie, and I really like it. It's got the monsters there on the back. So yeah, I'm really happy with this Steelbook. Visually, it's really nice. I didn't own Cabin in the Woods, so and I do really like the movie. I'm not a big horror fan, but I really like the way that this thing kind of plays fun with some of the horror tropes. And it's just a pretty fun movie. Special releases. First up is The Boys. Season 1 and Season 2 are coming to Blu-ray. And one thing I will give props to Amazon about is the fact that their Amazon exclusives, they are not afraid to put out on physical media. And that's a good thing for collectors, and that's a good thing for physical media. One of the problems with Netflix and some of the other streaming services is they don't want to put out their exclusives on physical media because they want to drive people to the platform, and that could be good. Amazon has a little bit more leeway in the fact that they sell direct to consumer physical media, so anytime it basically gives them a double releases that they can sell to the customers, and it gives customers options. So they have a little bit more leeway than some of the other ones, but like we're not going to get the Mandalorian or any of the MCU shows released on physical media. They just want to keep those and hoard them on the platforms. So the fact that The Boys is coming out and some other Amazon Prime exclusives have been getting physical media releases is good for physical media collectors. And depending on how those sell, maybe Netflix and some of the other streaming platforms, Netflix in particular, with their stocks currently tanking, will probably decide to try and make up some revenue on some physical media releases, maybe at this point, who knows. But The Boys is a pretty good show. I definitely preferred season 1 to season 2. There were some aspects of season 2 I liked, but as is the case with a lot of the shows that come out now, season 1 can be good, and then it kind of goes downhill from there. But we'll see. I am looking forward to season 3, and season 2 wasn't bad enough to where I gave up on the show. Like, it was still okay. I still like parts of it. And honestly, I'm just excited it's getting a physical media release. And RoboCop series is getting a Blu-ray release as well. And I remember seeing some episodes of RoboCop series back in the day. I think they used to show some of them reruns on Sci-Fi or something like that. And I've seen a few of the episodes. Apparently the show's from 1994, which I never knew. So it's getting a Blu-ray release. So that's cool if you're a RoboCop collector. I don't think that it's been released on Blu-ray. I think it's the first time it's been released on Blu-ray. So yeah, if you're a RoboCop collector, RoboCop was released last month with an Arrow release as well as a Steelbook release, so this will fill out your RoboCop collection. The Last Kingdom is releasing a full set of all 5 seasons, and this has been on my watch list for a long time. I haven't checked it out, so if you guys are like The Last Kingdom, definitely let me know. I've heard a lot of really good things about it. Like I said, it's been on my watch list. Want to check it out, but all 5 seasons are done. This is the complete series, all 5 seasons. I believe I heard some rumors about a sequel series coming out as well. But yes, this was distributed by Netflix. The only reason we're getting physical media of this is because it's a BBC, or originally a BBC show, and Netflix opted it to have it on their platform. So it's not a Netflix release, because if it was a Netflix exclusive, we probably wouldn't be getting a physical media of it, because while they have released Stranger Things season 1 and 2 on physical media, Netflix really does have an aversion to releasing the physical medias. So those are the physical media releases for the month of May in 2022. What do you guys think? What was the things that most enticed you? What are the things that you guys are probably going to pick up? There are definitely a couple things here that I do want to pick up this month, but we'll have to wait and see what's available, especially Steelbooks. If you want Steelbooks and you haven't pre-ordered them now, they're getting harder and harder to find. They're making their way on the physical media shelves. Not really happening so much these days. As always, I tried to pick a good swath of movies, but I didn't hit everything here. So if there was something that's coming out that you guys are interested in that I didn't talk about, comment below. That way other people can have an extended list of some things to look for in the month of May. And as always, if you guys do want me to continue doing these physical media releases, please hit the like button. Let me know that you guys like this, so I know that you guys want to see it. And I'll continue doing it as long as you guys want to see these physical media releases. I always enjoy putting them together and sharing them with you guys. I just want to say a big thank you to my subscribers. As of filming this video, I just passed 2,000 subscribers. I'll probably lose 10 tomorrow, but right now I just passed 2,000, so that's pretty exciting. So welcome new subscribers. Thank you all of my subscribers. You guys are awesome. Physical media's videos will be releasing on Tuesday. Star Trek videos will probably continue to be released on Saturday, even after the terrible show Picard ends. Yeah, we're gonna push forward with a lot of cool stuff on the channel. Looking forward to sharing all that with you. And if you guys are looking forward to the room tour is coming, guys. It is coming. So again, thank you, subscribers. You guys are awesome. And if you like this video, please like, comment, share, subscribe, do all the YouTube stuff, or don't. I'm not a beggar. I'm YouTube64, and I'll always tell you the truth.